everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be a new like this, try that. This time it's going to be high-end versus a drugstore edition. If you don't know, it's a whole series I'm doing. I'll link the playlist down below. Sometimes I'm also doing didn't like this, try that. And like I was saying, today's kind of dupe edition. I don't like to necessarily call these dupes because some of these, it's not like finding the exact same formula, exact same color. It's more finding different alternative, different price points, and then different accessibility too. It might be easier for you to find one brand over the other. You might want to splurge to get that color that might not be available at a drugstore, etc, etc. So let's go through these. I'm very excited about these. Let's start with mascaras. I feel like mascaras is hard to find an exact dupe. I feel like they will tend to perform differently on everyone. But I think I found something that could be a great alternative for the Marc Jacobs. This is the Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara. I feel like I've seen this one absolutely everywhere. It's one of the Sephora best-selling mascaras that they have, and it's no wonder I have been enjoying this. It has a natural bristle brush. It's kind of an hourglass shape, which I feel like has been everywhere. It gives me very natural and what I like to call fluttery lashes. It kind of gives me a soft curl, which I do need. It gives the illusion of having more lashes. It doesn't flake, doesn't smudge on me. You're going to see in a close-up that it looks really great. And I do really enjoy it as an everyday mascara. However, it is pretty pricey. I feel like mascaras tend to last you 3 to 6 months before you have to switch them up. I mean, around the eye, you don't want to take the risk, which is why I tend to enjoy drugstore mascaras. And I feel like Covergirl came out with this new mascara that seems to be really close. This is the Covergirl Exhibitionist mascara, and as you can see, it's also a big natural bristle brush in an hourglass shape. It's technically bigger than the Marc Jacobs one, as you can see, but on the lashes, I feel like they end up looking super similar on me, as you'll be able to see in the close-up. Also gave me some volume, some length, but definitely a soft, fluttery lashes look. Gives the illusion of having more lashes. Also doesn't flake or smudge on me. And I just feel like they are so similar that if you like one, I think you'll like the other. Next one, I have been raving endlessly about this Lancome Teint Idole foundation because this is one of the best foundations I've ever tried. It looks amazing. I would say like medium to full coverage, but still looks super natural. And I do have combination skin. I do get quite oily in my T-zone, but I have dry patches mostly around my nose. And I feel like finding a foundation that will not make me oily or disappear on my oily skin while also not emphasizing my dry patches is nearly impossible, but this is it. They have an amazing range of color. I would say, I think it's like 40 or something. So if the drugstore option doesn't work for you, I do think it's worth splurging on this. This is my 3rd bottle of it, and I also have like the winter shade. So I absolutely love this. I've recommended this a million times, and I will continue to do so because this is my jam. But I've been trying to find a dupe or different alternative for it because it's not the most affordable foundation. And kind of by accident, actually, I was testing back this foundation and I realized, damn, it's actually really close. And it is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I thought they only had a few shades, but turns out they have now 22, so that's good. A little more difficult to find your exact shades because this one does have like cool tone, warm tone, neutral undertone. So I feel like it is very easy to find a shade in here. With that said, if you can find a shade, I highly recommend you try this because it is so freaking close. Also, it helps controlling my oil while not overly emphasizing my dry patches. It lasts all day. It gives me a good amount of coverage without looking cakey, without emphasizing my pores or anything. And overall, just a fantastic foundation. It kind of gives you the illusion that you've been photoshopped in real life. So if you were looking for an alternative, if you like this also and you want a better shade, maybe try that, but vice versa as always. Like both of these, recommend both of these. Can't recommend any of these enough. And if you want a different alternative, if you have drier skin, for example, I also would recommend as an alternative this one, the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. I feel like this one is closer, but this one is still a good enough dupe that I would still recommend it. I adore this foundation once again because it lasts really well throughout the day. It's not as mattifying, but still looks really nice on the skin. Doesn't overly emphasize my dry patches. And again, I believe this one has 16 shades and it's definitely more affordable. So I would also recommend this one. The next 2 products are both holy grails. I adore them. And I recently realized that they're actually quite similar. The high-end one is this Mercier Candleglow Sheer Perfecting Powder. And I adore this and it's so underrated. It's a very natural glowy highlighter. There's no shimmer, there's no glitter, it's not metallic. It's just a soft glow from within. You will get so many compliments when you wear this because everyone, even someone that isn't really into makeup, they'll just look at you and be like, oh, you're looking good and like healthy today. and this is it. They have 4 different shades, and you're going to see in the close-up that it's just such a natural glow. I feel like these type of highlighters, you just can't show what they look like on camera. I feel like it just never does them any justice, but just trust me, this looks amazing on, just very, very natural. They have 4 different colors, so you will be able to find a shade depending on your skin tone, or you could even get a glowy bronzer if you get a deeper shade. I feel like nobody talks about this, and it's such a fantastic product. I've been using this so much, it's getting quite flat. But like I was saying, I realized recently that, that's why I also really like this highlighter from Drugstore. Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. They recently actually came out with a darker one. I think it's called Sunlight. Just looked it up. Sunlighter. Kind of close though. This is another very fantastic, naturally glowy highlighter. I feel like you will get a similar look with it. The only thing is they have 2 shades, so I feel like this color is too dark for me to apply all over my face, which sometimes I do with this one if you want to be like extra glowy. This one is peachier and not as light. And considering they have only 2 shades, you might not be able to find the perfect one for you. However, if you are able to find your shade, I highly recommend this because it's a fraction of the price and it's just as good. Obviously, you get the drugstore packaging over the fancy one, so it really depends on your taste and budget, but I feel like if you like one, you'll like the other. For the next product, we're gonna start with the drugstore version, and I wanted to talk about this concealer because, oh my god, so much coverage. This is the Model's Own Cover It Full Coverage Concealer. I have the shade 01 Light, and oh my, is this full coverage. This one comes in a squeezy tube, and I've used it mostly under my eyes, but you could use it as a spot concealer too. This formula is almost sticky because it's so thick. It covers absolutely everything. It looks flawless on camera and pictures and everything. If you have dehydrated under eyes, it might not be ideal. I feel like anything that is really full coverage will tend to be better for people that have oilier skin. It stays forever on your skin. I would not be surprised if this could be considered waterproof. Like, you could swim with this and it would still be on your face. The sad thing about this though is that they don't have a great color range. I believe they have something like 3 shades, so it's definitely not for everyone. And even my color match, you can see it's right here. It's a bit yellow for me. I can get away with it because it is like a concealer, right? It's not like a foundation, but it's not my best match. So I would recommend, because if you like this, you will mostly like this one. This is the Becca Ultimate Coverage Longwear Concealer. I have the shade Birch, and this is a much better color match for me. Actually, you can't even see it because it is on my skin, so you can see like the reflection of it, but like it blends seamlessly into my skin. This one actually comes with a doe foot applicator, not a squeezy tube. I can't decide which one I prefer, to be honest. I feel like it's easier to control the amount in this format. But the applicator is a doe foot one, but it's almost it's a stiff one. Also super full coverage, stays in place incredibly well, doesn't settle into my fine lines once I set it in place. And if you're looking for something like really full coverage, I would definitely recommend this. But I feel like if you like this, you like that. If you can't find your shade in this one, I would recommend investing in this one. But if you are able to find your shade, I would say you don't need to splurge, get the drugstore option. Let's talk about eyeliners. I feel like I have been on the hunt forever for the best matte, very black eyeliner. And I have fallen in love with the Balm Schwing liquid eyeliner. I've talked about it, and I am not the best, just full disclaimer, at applying eyeliners that are more like a long shape like this. I don't know, like not in a pen one, more like in a brush tip applicator. But this one is a bit more stiff, so I feel like it's very precise and it won't start wiggling and you don't end up with like a wiggly line, you know? It's a very dark black matte formula, as you can see. Obviously it is not matte yet, it has to dry, but it really stays well in place. With that said, I feel like the Balm is not the easiest brand to find, and I also have found things that are cheaper. So, number 1, probably my favorite between the 3 I'm going to be talking about, the Sephora long-lasting eyeliner. I think it's the 24 hour something something. I tested this in a full phase of trying like best-selling products at Sephora, and this is probably the product I fell in love the most with because this is amazing. Also same type of applicator, kind of brush tip. It doesn't wiggle around, so it's very easy to use. It's also very dark matte black. Lasts all day on me, doesn't budge, but it's also easy to remove with eye makeup remover at night. I feel like it's essential that like you have that balance, right? I don't want to be like trying to rub to remove everything, but you can see Also very dark, very matte, very black. Not yet, you'll see that. And this is a fraction of the price of the Balm one. Actually, the Sephora collection products tend to be quite affordable for like a Sephora product, so I would recommend this. And if you are able to find the Milani, this is the Stay Put Matte 17 Hour Liquid Eyeliner. I would recommend checking that out because once again, it's even cheaper. This one is almost like a bit more moussey consistency, but that means it's going to be extra matte, which is so hard to find. I wanted to include the super close-up so you can see them because the middle one is the Sephora one and I feel like it's the blackest one, but the Milani one, the one on your left, is definitely the most matte one, and it's because it's a bit more moussey. Hopefully you can tell from the close-up. Fun fact, by the way, they have a fantastic matte dark forest green eyeliner in this formula. I think it's called Safari. Highly recommend that one. I love that. Whenever you want to like wear colorful eyeliner without actually looking like you're wearing colorful eyeliner. So that's gonna be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section if you have tried any of those products and what you thought about them. Also, please let me know any products you would like me to try to find a dupe or an alternative for in a future video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe because you definitely don't want to miss all the future ones that I'm planning on doing very, very soon. I will be putting some of the videos that I recommend you check out on the screen. I will be seeing you in my next video. Bye.